What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Flobo. This is What's Up, Flobo? What episode number 90 plus? A lot of things going on, a lot of things to talk about real quick. Before I do, just want to say that this episode and all the other episodes in the What's Up, Flobo canon is brought to you by NoNameNerd.com. For you, if you're like me, you want to get yourself a mask, a nerd branded mask, or a video game jersey. No Name Nerd is where you want to go. Use my promo code FLOBITO for a discount. So I was going to say, man, What's Up Flobo is actually like the flagship show, if I can say that, here on my YouTube channel. More things to worry about that, where I get to sit and chat and roll with you. And this week I decided to expand that brand, I guess, with a brand new podcast. It's live visually on Monday nights called What's Up Flobo After Hours. And so far the reception has been pretty good. And I appreciate you guys checking that out. What's Up Flobo After Hours basically takes this kind of concept, me just sitting, rapping with you with the camera, but stop talking about what's going on in life, because, I mean, I'm interesting, but not that interesting. We're talking about what's going on in the world around us. It's tweets of the week or news ideas, taking stories of how my background influences my perspective. Just this week on Monday, we talked about Instagram influencers. We talked about small businesses trying to make their way during the pandemic, and of course the NASCAR situations over the past couple of days. So check it out. What's Up Flobo After Hours airs live on this channel and on Twitch. And if you like the podcast version, it's available on Spotify. But as for us, What's Up, Flobo? We're chilling out. We're hanging out. I'm having the time of my life, even though on Monday I seem kind of like poo-poo about the new social norms when it comes to social distancing. There is a bit of this fallout or rebuild from this pandemic that I really want to talk to you about, and that centers around sports. Now, I am a casual sports fan. I love my Mets more than most people. I love the Mets. Of all the teams, that's the one I represent the most. I feel like I'm a supporter of that team in that traditional sense, but I'm a fan of sports. You know, I love the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Liberty, the Los Angeles Galaxy, Manchester City, and the Premier League. And I would say I'm more casual. Like, I'll get up and I'll watch a game if it's on, or I'll follow a social media account, but I'm not really all about it like my friends are. And for a while there, I thought I didn't like sports at all. You know, I thought like, yo, man, once you go into a room with a bunch of guys talking about stats and percentages and wins above replacement ratings, I just go, I like how we hit the ball. It was great. So I thought it was kind of done. Just during this shutdown, I remember being in Florida. I was on a gig, on assignment, and everything shut down. It was a Thursday. I think it was like March 12th. Everything shut down. Like NBA pulled out, NFL pulled out. Things were coming down left and right. And sooner or later, there was no sports. And even though I was okay with following the Mets, I didn't really follow sports at all. But I felt like during this time, during the lockdown time, I got way more acquainted in different things. I got into Australian rugby, thanks to Dylan Matthews, a friend of the channel and friend of the show. It was the last sport to shut down and one of the first ones to open back up. And so I watched a couple games. Now I'm a fan of the Sydney Roosters, you know, hashtag East to win. I got into that. And of course, esports doesn't really necessarily need to be in person, so I've been watching that a little bit too. But with everything now coming back, because this is July, with things coming back slowly and surely, I've fallen back in love with sports. I kind of like, not saying I stopped watching, but didn't really support as much. Like Premier League soccer. With whether it was Top 11, the simulation game, the manager simulation game I play, or FIFA 20 being on deep discount, I got back into soccer. And when Premier Leagues launched back up a couple weeks ago, I'm watching my team, Manchester City, play a game, and I'm like, oh man, I forgot how much fun this was. I didn't worry about like the ratings of players. I didn't worry about transfers. I mean, Premier League had to basically say, we are back. We just want to play the sport. We just want to play the game. Follow us. And it was almost like a reboot for me in that way. It was being like, oh, yeah, I remember this used to be just pure fun. I remember cheering for Manchester City and how they won the Premier League title in the last possible moment of the season. You know, like that's the stuff I miss. I don't miss hanging out and discussing, you know, if this person was in this position, how many more goals per game would he would get? Or I didn't want to sit there and talk about kits or schedules, or, you know, this football team has a very hard schedule. You know, there's only 16 games a season, and this schedule is really difficult. It should be weighted against their power ranking average, and then blah blah. Sit down there and watch a team. If I could play like a player, you like the way they do a strategy, look up, read about it. If you want to talk about what they could have done to win last night's game, that's great. But the moment we're talking about percentages and stuff like that, I'm tuned out. And it's not an anti-math thing. I'm not sitting there going like, oh man, it's against me. I'm a wrestling fan, for example. And wrestling doesn't have many stats. There's a promotion called AEW here in the United States that does like rankings of wins and losses. But usually wrestling's entertainment, so no one really sits there and does stats. And I love wrestling. I'll talk wrestling about storylines and characters and presentation all day long. But there's some fans that'll sit there and talk to me and telling me about, in the last 40 appearances, they only won 12 matches. They're being buried. For those who don't know, burying is a term that people use when it's supposed to mean when someone is no longer essential to the show and they are shown on camera by losing matches that they can be expendable. But buried is a term that a lot of wrestling fans use when their favorite wrestler doesn't win 2 matches in a row. They're buried. They only won 12 of the last 14 matches, or 2 of the last 14 matches, they're buried. I can't believe they're buried. And it's like, man, it's not about that. You're taking it way too seriously. And not everything needs a sports center treatment. Sports journalists can talk about stats that are blue in the face. That's their job. But come on, man. Like, it reminds me of the old Jerry Seinfeld bit. In fact, he actually retold it in his Netflix special, Jerry Before Seinfeld, where he goes, look, man, the bodies are playing the games are interchangeable. They get old. They get traded. We are just rooting for laundry. We just love the colors and the team and the badge the teams represent. We're just rooting for that piece of laundry to win over another piece of laundry. So it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man, thanks to the shutdown, I've just been more into Premier League soccer. I got into rugby. I can't wait for baseball to come back. The MLS, the Major League Soccer, the American Soccer League is coming back soon in the tournament. And a lot of athletes have taken their time to branch out and do versions of their sport and launch Twitch pages and accounts. So that was fun to watch and experience as well. But yeah, I'm on board. I want to see how it unfolds. One thing of this, and every single time checking out this show, What's Up Flobo Classic, I guess I can call it now, What's Up Flobo Classic, with after hours coming Monday nights. What's Up Flobo will have a bit of a schedule change, maybe twice a week, maybe once a week. I haven't just quite decided yet. When I do, I'll let you know. Make sure you check out this episode of What's Up Flobo and all the other episodes right here on YouTube. Comment if you like it. Subscribe if you like the show and channel. And if you like What's Up Flobo After Hours, and you want to hear more, you want to hear less, you want more politics, less politics, more of the news, less of the news, let me know that as well. That's a living, breathing, growing show. It's a nice extension. It's me at night, a little more loosey-goosey. I actually give my perspective on lots of things rather just being like, yeah, the Empire is coming. The Everything Tournament every Tuesday on Twitch and on Facebook Live. Jack and Flobo Wrestling with your questions every Thursday on YouTube on the Jack Farmer channel. The first 14 episodes is right here on YouTube on my channel, but we're moving it over to the Jack Farmer channel. I'm doing a bunch of stuff, and for you to keep up, patreon.com/FloboBoys. All my projects are there. And you can buy a t-shirt, support the homie at flobito.threadless.com. Until next time, whatever time that may be, I'm hanging out. I'm chilling out. So be yourself and peace out.